This is my doggy Trusty. She is about 2 years old, a mixed breed. And I'm not sure what breed. And I think she's half pit, and my husband said half collie. Oh, who knows? She's beautiful. Look how beautiful she is. We got her as a puppy. They were about to take her to some kind of a place where they would put her up for adoption, or I don't know what they do with dogs that they don't want, but we fell in love with these beautiful paws. Look how her feet look like she's wearing white shoes and her white chest. She's so beautiful. Anyway, when we got Trusty, we're plant-based eaters, so we did some research to see if animals could also be, plant-based eaters. And there were many vegans or plant-based eaters who did not feed their pets, their dogs, meat. So I cooked when we cooked our food, I cooked some for Trusty every day for the first several months of her life. And she was doing very well. As you can tell, she's not fat, she's not overweight. She's just a beautiful, healthy looking dog. And I would give her like raw garlic once in a while, clove, that kind of thing, and to help to keep her healthy. Anyway, some months ago, my husband did some research and he said that he had read several places that dogs need to have some meat, especially bones. So, probably about a year ago, actually, we started feeding her some meat, primarily beef with bone, but then once in a while he would buy pork, and he found a place where they sold it a little cheaper, so he would buy pork sometimes, but mainly beef with bone, hardly ever chicken. Once in a while, if they have chicken on sale, I'll buy it and debone it and cook it and give it to her. So that's primarily what she's been eating: freshly cooked meat. Sometimes we will buy good quality beef and give her a piece of raw beef bone with meat on it. Recently, however, there was a piece of pork in the freezer, and it had been there, to be honest with you, for a couple months. So I cooked it and I gave her a piece. And I noticed after that she started spitting up. And like a day after that, I saw her eating grass. And I had read in the past that I knew actually from growing up in Jamaica that when the dogs were eating grass, we used to say, oh, the dog is taking their medicine. So I remember the older folks saying whenever dogs are eating grass, it's usually because their stomach is upset and their digestive tract is upset, so they're trying to settle their digestive tract. And I've also read that if they're deficient in some kind of a nutrient, they'll eat grass. So I assumed that the pork had bothered her digestive tract, and that's why she was eating the grass, just kept eating grass. And I noticed that she would spit up more often, and the spit up was like froth. And the next day she had lost some of her appetite. Usually when she hears me cooking, she'll be very much trying to, get some of the food, looking, where's mine, that kind of thing. And she wasn't acting like that at all. She was very disinterested in food. And she's a very playful dog. We play what we call dog football. We throw the ball, we throw frisbee, we play all kind of games, tug of war with our dog. She's very physically active, and she runs and jumps, you know, just jump and run all the time, always very, very, very active and very energetic until she usually winds down about 8:39. She goes to sleep, and by 6 o'clock the next morning, she's ready again to run around and play. And that's her life. She's always ready for a good play, a good run, a good chase. Chase the squirrels, chase the birds, and she wasn't doing any of that. She was just lying around. She was lying around a lot in the sun. The sun seemed to make her feel better, and even when she was in the house and we tried to get her to come outside, she showed no interest. Prior to that, as soon as you get to the door, she would bolt to the door, and before you could even finish opening it, she was outside chasing the squirrels and the birds, etc. Just always ready for some activity. Very energetic, puppy kind of energy. Like I said, she lost but maybe half of her energy, not much interest in anything, and she would just lie around and just look really puny. Her eyes look puny. If we saw a squirrel and would say, "Go, Trusty," she just wouldn't do it. No interest in anything. And after the second day, she lost interest in foods completely, and she just didn't want any food. No food. We even got dog food, and she had no interest in that. We always make sure that she has clean water every day. We'll change her water every day, and she would take a couple laps of the water, but I didn't think it was enough because I didn't see her peeing up a lot. And so she wasn't drinking, and whatever she drank, I noticed that she was vomiting. And the vomit was not just froth. By this time, the vomit was like bile, greenish yellow. So with my nursing experience, I figure, the similar thing that happens to man could happen to a dog. Could be pancreatitis, or some kind of a serious digestive disorder. Now, I know the power of fasting, and so does my husband. So we both decided that we're not gonna force her, but my concern was dehydration more so than the eating. So she got weaker and weaker and weaker to the point where, we could hardly encourage her to move at all. And my concern, as I said, was that she was not drinking enough. Even though I did see her peeing a couple of times, so I figured if she was peeing, that means perhaps the fluid, the water she was taking in was enough. So yesterday I boiled an egg and I chopped it up, added a little water, gave it to her, and she tasted it, a little bit of it, maybe a quarter of the egg, and that was it. I mean, normally she'll be eating that in like, as soon as you do, it will be gone. And so yesterday was like day 5 of this going on. And I said to my husband, I said that the dog is sick. He said, I know that. I said, we need to take her to the vet. He said, I can't afford to take her to the vet. Vets are very expensive. That was last night. And honestly, I mean, the way she looked last night, I thought she was probably going to die because she was panting really. She had shallow breathing, nasal flaring, some grunting sounds, very clingy, weak, obviously, no energy, and just lying down like, I was a little concerned, honestly, that maybe when we woke up this morning, she would have died. But she hadn't had anything to eat, per se. She didn't have anything to eat nor drink in nothing to eat, no solids in about 5 days. But like I said, she was having some liquids, and my concern was that she was dehydrated. So we decided we would just let her body take care of itself, because we know that he and I know that our bodies are well able to take care of whatever is going on. Usually the concern is the hydration, whether or not we will be hydrated enough to survive. Incidentally, this is exactly what our body does when we're not feeling well. Our body our body starts refusing food, and sometimes start refusing liquids and go into a fast so it can heal and repair itself. So we just kind of left her, and I did some research, and many suggested, make some soup, some broth for her, or buy some bone broth. So I went to the store this morning and I bought chicken and turkey neck, and I had celery, sweet potato, and I had also some string beans. So I pressure cook everything together, the turkey neck, the chicken breast, some of the sweet potato, celery. I put some cloves in it, and what else? And some string beans. And I pressure cooked it with a lot of water. And that was early this morning. And I have been giving her like a half a cup of that broth, like every hour. And she has not vomited. She has perked up. As you see, she's she's lying on the ground with me there, and she looks a lot more lively. Now, coincidentally, for the 5 days that she was not feeling good, that she was feeling sick, she stopped barking. I never knew that this happened. She stopped barking. She did not bark. Like I said, she did not chase any squirrel. If she heard another dog barking, she did not go after the dog, which she normally does. But the strangest thing is that she stopped barking. It's like she didn't care what the heck was going on around her. I think if somebody came to break into her house, she would not have done anything. Poor soul, she probably had no energy to do anything. So these are the symptoms. She started vomiting froth, then the froth became yellow, and then it became yellow green, and she just threw up a lot. And actually, when she first started, it's like something was caught in her throat, like she was making herself vomit. I guess to get rid of whatever was in her digestive tract that was bothering her. That's how it really started. Like she was forcing herself to throw up, and then she would just gag and throw up. And the last vomit was this morning, because when I got up and went to where she sleeps at about 7 o'clock, she had some bile-looking thing, yellow-green. And that was the last time I've seen any kind of vomit or spit up from her. So what we're feeding her is broth, and we're just going to give her the broth until tomorrow. If she doesn't throw up, then I'll blend out those vegetables and chicken and stuff into like a puree kind of a thing, and I'll give some of that small amount to her tomorrow, and I'll continue to give it to her until it's finished before we resume her regular diet. I know she's getting back to normal, because I just gave our cat a piece of the turkey neck, and she was Trusty was very interested in eating a piece, so her appetite and her desire for food is coming back, which is a clear indication that she is getting better. Now, what do I think caused the issue? I think it could be the pork. I really don't like to give her pork. I think pork is one of the most unhealthy meat that anyone could eat. It could be the pork. Also, we had traveled and we bought a bag of dog food for her, and she has started showing disinterest in that dog food. So the dog food might have been might have been the reason. Could have been the pork. Pork could have been bad, or it could have been the dog food. So of course we've thrown out the dog food. Who knows? But her body went into a fast to heal itself, and her body slowed down to conserve energy so it could heal itself. And I think that, and I know that that's how our bodies work also as humans. And then now that she is feeling better, the appetite returns and the energy returns, and we did allow her to fast. Now we're only giving her broth, and then tomorrow we'll go to like pureed, soupy kind of a diet for the rest of the week. I think we'll do that. Today's Tuesday. I wanted to share that with you because I am sure that many people have animals who will get sick, and many of us don't have money to take them to a vet when they're sick. And this protocol worked very well for us, and our beautiful trustee is feeling so much better and doing much better, and we feel a whole lot better too because we were so concerned for her. Take care. I hope this helps you, and God bless.